County to EMT Missy Hemmler. Lackawanna County to EMT Missy Hemmler. Commonwealth Health and Chinchilla EMS EMT Missy Hemmler. Your 11 years of service to Commonwealth Health and Chinchilla EMS, your fellow EMTs and citizens of South Abington Township and Lackawanna County will not be forgotten. Commonwealth Health and Chinchilla EMT Missy Hemmler, this is the end of your tour. Go with God.
thank everybody for being here today. Missy, deeply appreciate everybody. Missy, where can you begin? She wore many hats for the last 10 plus years. Beginning her adventure with the emergency services, Missy provided tremendous care to the advocates of the chinchilla host home. Every patient she met, she took pride in her job. Missy was my go-to person when it came to fire prevention time. Gathered material, along with Mike always helped out tremendously. They were a team. When it was time for new EMTs, Missy would take them under her wing. Training for the adventure. There's probably a lot of EMTs here that Missy trained before she was released to care. Can't say enough words can be said. Missy will be missed. God bless.
Of course, I had to be high maintenance and have notes and something on my phone. I apologize. I just, on behalf of Commonwealth and Missy's co-workers there, I just can't thank everybody enough. What a beautiful turnout to celebrate Missy. And, you know, as much as she'd be flattered to see this and honored, she'd probably beat the crap out of me right now. Because everybody's crying. And Missy would say, anybody have a flask? Anybody have a flask? Because that's what she would probably prefer right now, knowing Missy. And I haven't known her for very long. I've only been in my job for 20 months and I'm not from here. But that's what she would want. She'd want this to be a party and a celebration of Missy. So I think she's watching us right now, and I think she knows how much we honor her and respect her, and we're going to miss her. The first time I met Missy, I made her cry. She was the second employee I ever made cry. It was week 2. Off to a great start. It was a real misunderstanding, and we had a long talk. See, she's crying right now. Sorry, Missy. We had a long talk, and we were friends ever since. It was actually one of my real people, like Sean said, that I could really rely on. Someone that would tell me what was up, tell me what I needed to know, get me when she needed help. Missy knew what to do. Missy was about 2 things. There was 2 things that were consistent and never ending with her, and that was number 1, her family, her beloved Jason. Anyone that had a phone call with Missy knew that 5 minutes was never 5 minutes. Hey John, I just need you for 5 minutes. 45 minutes later, she was telling me about Jason. She loved me with all her heart and soul. And she does love you, and she's going to watch you grow up. And the second piece of service to her community. Nobody would go above and beyond when we were missing them. In fact, she really blended those 2 things, because the best thing she did and the thing she taught every new EMT was treat every patient like their family. Sometimes family gets tough love. Sometimes Missy had to yell and put the smack down or something. But Missy treated every patient like family. And every single new employee that comes into Commonwealth, the last thing I tell them when I see them when they're in their training is I say, please just go out there, treat them like they're your family, and you'll be fine. No one will ever complain if you treat them like you treat your mother or your brother. One quick story, is one of my greatest honors since I've been here, was hearing about Missy helping a young woman that was stranded on the side of the highway at Christmas time. And Missy brought her here to Station 2, fed her, put a shelter over her, and I'll never forget thinking, wow, how lucky am I? I get to work with someone that cares like that, that would do that for somebody else. I hope everybody I work with does that. So, in closing, before I do a little prayer, I would pay Missy my highest respect. And my highest respect is this. If my family ever needs help, I hope that Missy Hemmler will come again. And I'm going to read the EMT's prayer. Grant me the wisdom so I may treat those of your children that lay at my feet. Let my hands be gentle, sure, and swift, to impart to them your sacred gift. Let me see only a patient's need, not their color, race, or creed. Help me always to be my best, even when it's on only an hour's rest. Grant me the insight to understand why patients of mine are going to die. Let me remember that when they do, there is a wonderful life in heaven with you. Lord, in the time of duty, I shall fall, help my family to hold their heads tall. For it was you who decided that I should be one of your chosen few, an EMT. Thank you.
As short as I could because I knew I couldn't do it. These two little sisters, our time together is special. So are the memories we made. And although you live in heaven now, those memories will hold the feet. I bow my head in silence and remember my sister with love. And I know that you're up there watching from above. Every day's a struggle, and nothing feels the same. And my heart breaks a little more every time I hear your name. You'll always be remembered, and in time I heal my heart. But it places me as missing since the day we have to part. If heaven is for angels, then I know that's where you'll be, and I know you'll be waiting when heaven calls for me.
I'm going to give this a try. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Missy's family and myself, I would like to thank the Chinchilla Hose Company, Commonwealth Health, and for all of you for making today so very special. The outpouring of support has been overwhelming. It is mind-blowing to see how one person can have such a profound effect on so many people and touch so many lives. Missy would certainly be humbled by the amount of love and support that all of you have given. They say we meet people for a reason. Well, I can say 11 years ago when I met Missy, I had no idea she would change my life in ways I never would have imagined. Missy was not only my best friend, she was my rock. She was my go-to person. She was the love of my life. One of Missy's biggest goals in life was to make me happy. And she did, every minute of every day. Missy's love for family was unending. Missy would constantly put her family needs in front of her own. And as everyone said before, she loved to talk about Jason. And she would every chance she could. Jason, your mom loved you. She loved you with all her heart and soul. And she was extremely proud of you. When Missy first came to Chinchilla, she was a young, shiny, relatively new EMT sent down from Carbondale to go cover the Abingtons. Slowly over time, Missy grew into the EMT that we all love today, and she made Chinchilla her home. It became part of our family. Except for her sister up the hill, she pretty much took over the Abingtons. It was her truck, it was her patient, and if you didn't like it, I'm pretty sure you were asked to get out. Yeah, I see a lot of nodding heads from paramedics here. So with that being said, Missy was one of the shining lights in EMS. She did more than just get in the ambulance and run calls. She was here for all of us. When one of us or family member needed help, the first question was, where is Missy? Is Missy working today? Missy would come in on her own time, or she'd run a secret squirrel mission when she was on shift, to take one of us or a family member to the hospital. Missy even took some of our family members home from the hospital. She took them to rehab, took them to doctor's appointments. She even helped provide home health care for my mother when she was ailing. It was something Missy was drawn to do, never looking for recognition or repayment. Helping others is what she loved to do. Over the past few weeks, I have spoken to a lot of family and friends. There's been a lot of laughter, a lot of crying, a lot of support. But one of the conversations stands out above the rest. It was from Missy's first partner when she was here, it was Danny the Yellow. Danny and I talked for hours, sharing story after story. We talked about the ways Missy would interact with her patients, and how naturally being an EMT came to Missy, and how she loved to share her meatball recipes. But after we finished, Danny paused for a minute. And he said, Missy was the EMT I always wanted to be. At first I just agreed, but the more I thought about it, the more powerful those simple words became. Missy was the EMT I always wanted to be. I think Missy is the EMT we all wanted to be. Missy strived to be the best EMT she could be. She was always learning, always trying to better herself. And not just for herself, for all of us. So, in honor of Missy and the legacy she leaves behind, hug your family a little tighter tonight and every day. Smile at a stranger. Offer to help even if you don't have the time. Go the extra mile and connect with your patient. Go be the EMT Missy would want you to be. So in closing, I'd like to leave it with an Irish proverb. Death leaves a heartache no one can heal. Love leaves a memory no one can steal. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Teddy Zielinski, and I'm chaplain of the Chinchilla Host. I'll offer some thoughts on Missy this afternoon. Our association with Missy is no more. Her days with us have ended. Let us remember her as the one who was our friend and a compassionate and caring caregiver. Let our mourning be made lighter by the memories of the time we spent with her. Missy will not be forgotten while we who were her friends yet live. Oh God, look upon us who are gathered together because our friend Missy has gone from us. Please take our fear and our sorrow into your peace. Eternal rest granted to her, O Lord, and let the perpetual light shine upon her. May her soul and the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Amen.